Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brothers, how are you all? This is Mega Goal 2, Unit 4, Lesson 1. Let's start, please. Today we have a new grammar lesson which will be the past perfect tense. The past perfect tense. Let me remind you first of the past simple because we have an important relation between the past perfect and the past simple. The past simple is an action that happened and ended. We talk about a completed action in the past. Well, there is no big difference between the past perfect and the past simple. The past perfect is also an action that happened and ended, but it happened before another action in the past. So just imagine that if you want to compare two actions in the past. I'm telling you, for example, I did my homework, I played tennis. Again, I did my homework and I played tennis. I'm just telling you what happened yesterday, for example. Can you tell me which action happened first? Do you think I played tennis first or I did my homework first? Well, you can't decide. That's why the past perfect is very important, because if you want to compare two actions in the past, you have to know that the older past, the action that happened first, is the past perfect, and the newer one, the recent one, is the past simple. How can we form the past perfect? We have to use had plus past participle. Had plus past participle. So if you look here, we use the past perfect tense, had plus past participle, to indicate an action that happened before another action in the past. Look at this example. When we arrived at the airport, our flight had already left. When we arrived at the airport, our flight had already left. So, do you think we could catch the plane, or not? Could we catch the flight? No, we couldn't. Because this action happened first, which is had already left, then we arrived. Good. And remember that usually when is followed by the past simple. So this action had already left happened first, and this action happened later. First of all, the flight had already left. Then we arrived. Okay? That's why, as we said, the past perfect is important. It gives you the order of the sentence. Which action happened first? What about number 2? They couldn't get in the house because they had forgotten the key. So what happened first? First of all, they had forgotten the key. Then what happened? They couldn't get in the house. Right? So don't forget again, the past perfect, had plus verb 3, is the action that happened first, then the past simple is the action that happened later. Regarding questions, short answers, it's very easy because we have only had, nothing else. Not like the present perfect, for example, we have or has. No, here we have only had. Only had. So if I want to ask, I can say had I, had you, had she, had we. Short answer, yes I had. For example, had you been there before? Yes I had. What about if I want to say no, negative? No, I hadn't. No, I hadn't. This note is very important because the contraction apostrophe D for had and so on can be used with the past perfect. So I can use the contraction I apostrophe D or you apostrophe D, which means I had, you had, she had, and so on. Okay. Let's do something here. Well, this one is very important. Please, I need your full concentration. The first one, you are going to use even past simple or past perfect. So we have some verbs here in brackets and we need to put them even in the past simple form or the past perfect form. Remember, please, the past perfect is the action that happened first. The past perfect is the action that happened first. Number one, I, the verb is feel, much better. After I, the verb is see, the results of my test. So what do you think? Which action happened first? Excellent. First of all, I saw the result of my test. Then I felt much better. So this action happened first. This action happened later. The action that happened first is the past perfect. Excellent. The action that happened later is the past simple. Good. I have something which is important here, the word after. This word can help me because after is followed by the action that happened first. After, followed by the past perfect, then we have the past simple, maybe at the beginning or even at the end of the sentence here. That means I can say, after I had seen the results of my test, I felt much better. No problem if I start with the word after. But remember that this conjunction, the word after, is followed by the past perfect tense. Why? Because after is followed by the action that happened first. What about number two? It had been raining, but by the time the rain, well, this is very important. By the time the rain, so when we arrived, the rain was already stopped. What action or which action happened first? Very good. The rain had stopped. Then what happened? We arrived. So first of all, the rain had stopped. The rain had stopped. Then we arrived. Okay. Then we arrived. Look here. Also the word by the time is the same like the word when. We have when, by the time, and the before. Three words nearly with the same meaning. By the time, when, and the before. I can say here, before we arrived, the rain had stopped. When we arrived, the rain had stopped. So these expressions, by the time, when, and the before, are usually followed by the action that happened later, which is the past simple. Then we have the past perfect. Can I start the sentence with by the time we arrived? Yes, no problem at all. By the time we arrived, the rain had stopped. Good. By the time we arrived, the rain had stopped. The last example for today, dinosaurs extinct for millions of years before the first humans. Well, this is very important. So I have the word before here, and the before is followed by the action that happened later. So before followed by excellent, the past simple tense. While, what should I put here? Yes, the past perfect, the action that happened first. I have verb be here. If I want to use the past perfect, that means had plus verb 3. What is verb 3 of be? Yes, had been. So dinosaurs had been extinct for millions of years before the first humans appeared. Before the first humans appeared. Okay, that was the end of our session for today. Thank you, gentlemen, and see you very soon, inshallah. Thank you.